BEEX project is a no-profit foundation about visual art and photography. If you want to help us, just drop a donation on buymeacoffee.com/BerlinExplorer. So welcome to 50 Minutes of Experience. Today I'm with Rafael Garuda. Welcome, Rafael.
Thank you for inviting.
Yeah, it's really a pleasure for me. So, as you know, will be nice if you can introduce a bit of yourself, then the listener can know more about you, and then we can go a bit more deeper.
Perfect. Okay, my name is Rafael Garuda, and I'm originally from Java, but I've been here for like around 2 years, exploring Bali, and I get stuck into this place, and I guess I feel that this is my place, and I feel that I want to know more about this, and I start my background in earth science work, and specifically in volcanology. And I realized when I study that, I start to feel that no, this is not my place, and I always want to have this kind of sense of art in my life. So I start already since I was a kid. I start with the painting, and then I start to do photography and videography, but I don't know how to integrate that kind of stuff with my life. So I start to shoot, and I start to get my own, like, let's say, my own style. And yeah, so far I've been enjoying with it, and I like to communicate with people in my stories, in its picture and video that I created.
Yeah, that's really nice. And it's really nice because I don't know why, but I'm meeting a lot of people from Java. But I'm kind of a connection with people from Java because I meet people from, I don't know, 5 years, always from Java. And it's really funny, that part in my life. And so I feel in a way connected with them. And before I was reading that you wanted to talk about that for you it's not only photography, but it's art. And I wanted to know what is the concept between the differences between art and photography for you.
For me, art is the base. Like it's like really broad area that you can, like, music is also art, and writing is also art, and I like all of them basically. And I don't want to call that I make a beautiful photograph, but I make art itself, because photography, it's like the art spoke by itself, and that's what I want to create with the people. When I start to shoot them, I want to know the story behind it, the character, and like getting to know in detail how is their life basically, and try to make it as a canvas. So the story itself is canvas, and I paint it with my picture, and basically they spoke by themselves. I mean, I just try to help them to create their own art with my.
So basically for you, what is the differences between what is the heart for you?
What again? Sorry.
What is the heart for you? What is art for you? This is what I'm really curious to know, because in the description you wrote me, it's you wanted to talk about the differences that to be a photographer and an artist, and then you consider yourself more an artist than a photographer. But what I think is practically also photography is a kind of art, and art is the word we use to define the constitution of many different human activities involving a creative imagination to express technical proficiencies, beauties, emotional power, or ideal of concept. And yeah, I was really curious to know what is the difference. I mean, for me, everything can be an art. then if we know that art is related to human activities and the creative part, creativity is in everything we do it every day. Also because we cannot reply something, or we cannot recreate something in the same way, in the same exactly condition as a photocopy. Even if we do it a photocopy, it's not a really photocopy, because every piece of paper was different. Every movement, the gravity, and what else will change everything, and also the time. So we cannot stop the time. So in a way or another, the heart is in everything. I can say that. I mean, I will do it this provocation to the world of art. And so then to go more deep in this topic, what I want to ask you is what are the emotion you have during what you do, without considering if it's art or not?
No, I think when I create some picture or video, it's like about a telling story. And I think I agree with you that you can find art like in many aspects on this life. And the problem is how people see it as an art, and how people can see it as a beauty, not just an image. I mean, also when we see the painting, it's also like, wow, that is a beautiful artwork. But when we know the meaning behind it, like for example Mona Lisa, oh, it's just like amazing picture. But when we start to know about all of this story, like how he made it, and how long he made it, what technique he made it, and what is the story behind this person, why this person is so mysterious, and we become like giving the value of it, that it's not just like beautiful stuff, but it's also like something powerful that can spoke by themselves. And that's what basically what I want to create in every things that I made, like in my painting, in my picture, in my video. It's like I want to put that kind of value, that I don't want that I give the value to them, like, this is about this, but this is the story basically based on the subject that I take, and I let them speak by themselves, just in more like, with this kind of media. If I take a picture of them, then this is the media that telling the story. And
So
if
which
I make a video, that is the same.
so which kind of story you will love to talk about, and what do you think your picture talk about?
I think recently I get engaged with some kind of a darkness, like in my style, and I also currently is facing this kind of experience, and I feel that many people always afraid when they face about their dark side, and they try to ignore that and try to only see the good things in this life. But that life is a balance between the black and white. It's like the duality, and sometimes we need to accept this dark part of our life to see the good one. So this is what
I would say that probably, I don't know. I have seen and I have read some description on Instagram of your work, and I think you are still a bit away from the darkness. I mean, you didn't see yet the darkness for real, probably, or you didn't work on the darkness for real. I mean, what is darkness? Darkness, or what is the light? They are both part of our personal experience. So then, what can be darkness for me can be also the light for you. And but if we want to talk about this topic really deep, I think darkness is something you cannot really relate with everyone, but it's also difficult to relate with yourself and to discover, especially in photography field, to really relate with. I think the darkness in this case sometimes we associate to the black, to the shadow, but probably is in the light, and this um, can be a provocation for us, to discover where is the dark, and so this how we consider the bad part in our life probably is totally highlighted in front of ourselves, no?
Yeah, but as I said to you, that it's something personal, that I like to find the personality or on its character that I take a picture. So yes, I mean I experience my own experience on this kind of depressional state, and then I try to tell it in my picture. But this kind of story maybe just means nothing for other people, because they face another, like, they pass through hell that is much more difficult than me. And it's also like kind of inspiring when I find somebody that, oh, they look like actually really cool, but I don't know which story that they already passed, that they can become this really cool person. So that's why, like, when I get this kind of story, like, I want to ask them, like, can I make something from your this story, because maybe some of us never experienced this, and maybe this can be a, let's say, an antidote, or uh, an anticipation that, if it will happen in the next time on your life, like, it's not the end. I mean, there is already people who already passed it, and you know that you will be just fine. You just need to embrace it, and just don't be afraid. And I think,
Yeah,
yeah.
I understand what you want to say, but I will say that in your images, I don't see that. And if I have to do a short review of your portfolio, I will say that probably is the medium that doesn't represent that what you are saying now, because in a way or another, to face the real darkness we want to face, we have to pass the border of ourselves, and in some cases it's really difficult to pass the border of other people. What does it mean? That probably if you can keep try to shoot with someone that you're doing the first session, the second session, the third session, the fourth session, and so on, and you try to keep more intimacy from that situation, and in a way or another, you also have to be a bit cruel to push out the darkness of these people. And then, in the same time, have the ability to take picture of that will be totally different from what you have in results now. So, in the case I have to do it, the review of portfolio right now, I will say probably you are still in the middle of this travel to the darkness, and I will really see in the moment that you are not anymore watching the images to find out the words, but watching the images as only images, and the words they come out in the moment that you are clear with your mind to see the images words. What I mean is sometimes we create some ideas behind the picture, but the picture, if a picture say ha and we think z, that's doesn't mean that our picture are a, and or z in this case. It's complicated, this discussion. I will do it more, I will keep more simple. uh, we use words, and for every words we give a meaning, and images are like words, are a composition of words. And if we read the poet, or we read a poem, we can keep 30, 40, 50, or a limited version of the same sentence, but read in a different way. What make the true is always what we don't see, because what we produce is not, in a way, it's not our anymore. So during I was listening you about this discursive part of photography, I also watched your picture, and I realized that there is only probably 2 pictures that describe that what you say, and for the rest, some that you wrote about dark. In this case, you wrote to one, how can you shed some light if you never step into the darkness? But you know what I see in the picture? I don't see the darkness and I don't see the light. I see just someone is laying there and waiting to be shooted. And I ask to myself, okay, so what do you mean with that?
That is actually what I want to create, this kind of I don't want to give the people like, this is it. I want to make the people to make their own meaning based on what I create. So I mean, yes, because if I give you all of those meaning, it will be like, it's my experience, but it's not my experience. And that's why, like, it's, for me, it's much more beautiful when people see some picture and they can interpret, and maybe
This
can.
is automatically. This is automatically. You could not stop that because you are not controlling the thinking way of people. This will be automatically.
Sure.
So there are 2 ways. Or we show the work and we think. And the moment we write something about our work, we are writing what we want to say. But if this doesn't fit with the images is correlated with, we can have the opposite results. In a way or another, we drive what we want other people read if we write something. But in the moment we don't know, our text doesn't fit with the images in this case, no? So we write also a way to think that probably you also doesn't know what fit with this picture. So saying that you want that this is the effect, yeah, but how will you do it in otherwise? I mean, will be the effect in any case. And so probably to be aware of what we do, it's the right way to then understand how we connect with our images more than how others connect with other images, because our images in a way or another connect with others in a way or another.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
don't know.
to
I
say,
could
it's
agree.
like to say,
Yeah.
it's like to say in a way, yeah, I want to be ignorant about that, and then this is what I want about other people do it. That they are ignorant about my picture and they realize in the way they want. But yeah, in this case, there could be also totally negative part and misunderstanding about your work. You know.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I'm not going deep into one specific style, let's say, but yeah, because everybody's changing, and like it's always hard to find, like, catch all of these kind of people that, you know, I just want to focus on like a dark side of the people, and then maybe I met another interesting people which also telling another side of the story, that it's not, yeah, it's not just always dark, but there's also some like personalities that I want to show up. So but now recently, like, there is so many like cool like people with the dark background that I want to shoot. Maybe now it's not on your perspective, it's not like, it's not that deep enough, or it's not showing enough.
I think
Yeah.
you know, sorry, but I think that if you wanna keep really a deep way to connect with people, and then to shoot that, that's probably the first 2-3 steps you have to do it without the camera, because
Yeah, that is,
in this
agree
case,
with that.
I see your picture, and I don't know, I see what you show. I don't see what you don't show, and I will be really curious to see what you don't show, because probably, yeah, the picture you don't show, they represent even better what you want to say, but what you show doesn't represent what you say, and this come to my mind and say, what? What are you talking about? These are not the picture you're showing, you know? And this is what I mean. I mean, it's if you want to really go deep in the experience with these people, in the experience of the darkness, in the experience of the real, not problems, but the real traumas of people, I think this is something you first have to face with yourself. This is really, and then to don't think about the result of images, don't think about the construction of the images, don't think about the style of images, but to keep the reality in front of you as raw and cruel as it, without really going with intention to take a picture, but just to be there, and in a way working with your empathy and not with your camera. And then, yeah, you will have a tool will connect you with an experience in front of you, and not a tool is connecting you to something you think can be creative or can drive a message, because the message is automatically derived from the situation you have in front of you. In this case, I permit myself to tell you that because I have seen on some of your pictures stuff I have did in my past, in 10 years ago, 20 years ago. And if you want to really keep someone showing this emotion, you have to be really cruel. You have to be really someone, a piece of shit in that moment, to put out, to drive out this emotion. You have really to go until the border that someone want to kick you, and then shooting the picture, and then taking also the results. I mean, if you want to drive as artists some messages, sometimes we have to go over the border. Because if you want to stay inside of the border, then everyone can do it that. Everyone in our society can do it that. So the artist, someone drive a message, is always over the society. It's something has to be integrated after, not before.
I agree with that.
Or just keep on the truth you have in front of you. So then in this case, when I watch the picture you have on Instagram, and there is one in particular, for example, this one of the flower with the mask. This is for me to drive a message. This is for me to drive a message more than other picture, but not because other picture they don't have the powerful. The other picture you have, especially from the portrait, they are good. They are good to make connection, to make work, to make marketing on your picture, to keep connection with the people and to try portrait way. But in a way or another, they are all in pose. Also, if you don't use pose, they are opposed in a way or another. And the subject, they are not driving with you in a particular emotion. You know, this is something you can create all in the moment that you keep a really intimate relation with the person. And when you have this intimacy, this connection really strong, then you have to shoot. But yeah, it's something, it's not only related to you, it's something related to the subject also you're shooting. And it's something about energies, it's something about how much you are deep, how much they are deep, how much you want to go deep, how much you are afraid or brave to keep in touch with some emotion. This is really a mix of different experience, really powerful, but not easier.
Of course.
Otherwise, in the picture you don't have subject, but you have yourself. Then you relate to the nature, you relate to the true. Okay, that's in front of you. If I wanna keep the pictures in a way like just watching landscape or watching frame, I will see much more you, and then I will say, okay. So Rafael, what is my challenge in this way is try to go totally over the structure you have in your mind about photography, totally over the style. Take just your camera and shoot without thinking. And when you do it that, probably you will keep in touch with your real emotion, without any filter, without what others expect to see, without what others can read inside of your picture. Because when in the moment you will do it that without thinking, people will see you and will read what you think.
Yeah.
So this podcast today was a bit more a lesson of review a portfolio. But yeah, I think
I like
it is
learning.
it's
I
not
always
only,
like learning.
it's not
Yeah.
only your case. I mean, in general, there are many photographers. I mean, here, what I see in your picture is for sure a nice level of aesthetics, the structure. That you have everything. You have the tools. Now you have just to experiment with the tools you have in your hand. You know how to structure a picture. You know how to create an images. The only things you probably avoid or hide is to just keep simple on the things. And this is something I'm sure you will discover in your life. Just staying a bit away from the trend, staying a bit away from the Instagram thinking.
Of course. I don't follow Instagram things.
I mean, it's unconscious. Trust me, it's totally unconscious.
Yeah.
I just analyzed the first the last three pictures you have on Instagram, and they are respecting the style, the filter, and the color of most of the Instagram profile of photographer. You will say not? It's not like that?
I don't know. I think yes, but yeah. Who knows? I mean, I need some other people perspective to know how it look like.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I will like pushing myself.
So was nice to talk with you, and I hope to have another talk with you in the future. I want to keep this challenge, so try to doing picture without thinking. Just walk around, meet people, get in touch with them emotion, taking picture in a way we want to say also randomly, and then keep time to watch this picture after a while without thinking to post this picture, just accumulating first and then going to select. And you will see that your picture will be totally in another level, I think. Here's my challenge. And then we can keep another podcast the next month and we talk about this experience you do it.
Perfect.
Okay?
I take that.
So
Sure.
if everyone wants to see the picture of Rafael, the link will be in description. And if anyone has some comment to do it about this podcast, the last link in bio will permit you to send a vocal message that you can interact with us. Thank you a lot, Rafael, for your time.
Thank you for the lesson. It was amazing.
Also for me. Thank you. Thanks for listening to our podcast. Learn more about our project at allmylinks.com/BerlinExplorer or visit our Instagram and follow Berlin Explorer Project.